Hey guys, Ninja here, and welcome back to another episode of StoneBlock 3. In today's episode, we're going to take a break from all of the building that we've been doing and focus on some quest and tech progression. It's high time we started filling in these areas with some contraptions as well as cool farms. And to kick things off, we're going to get started with the chicken mod, which is something I've actually been putting off because, well, it takes a few hours of grind, but man, is it worth it in the end. So let's go get started. If we take a quick look at the chicken mod, you'll see it adds all of these additional chickens that are used to farm items. And there isn't one for every single resource in the game, but there is quite a bit. And my goal is to craft every single one of these. And if we just look at one for an example, you can see that most of them are crafted by breeding two other types of chickens. So for an example, to get a magma cream chicken, you need a blaze rod chicken and a slime chicken. So you can kind of see that it gets kind of crazy. And on top of that, they have levels. So the goal for today is to craft at least one of each chicken and get them all to level 10. This is going to take several hours. Some additional items added to kind of work with this mod is the chicken catcher. There are these hen houses, which we're not going to use at the moment, but we are going to get some of these breeders and roosts. To get started in these chickens, there are some that you actually craft. One of those is the cactus green chicken. And to get it, you actually need a whole bunch of green dye and an egg, and then you're able to craft one of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go around and gather up all the resources that we need to do the craftable ones, and we're going to craft two. So we can have two to continue breeding them. So if you only craft one, you won't be able to breed two. So I want to be able to breed multiple cactus green chickens as well as some of the others. I think one of the others is the lapis one. Yes, it's made from blue dye and an egg. So we're going to go ahead and get everything we need to craft two of all of these. Well, there's actually quite a few of the chickens that are crafted than I thought. So you can see here, we got the various ingredients that we need, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to get it all together without having to set up some additional farms, but we did have just enough beetroot for our red dye. We was able to get black dye by grinding coal in our millstone, so it's a good thing we left this thing set up. It found one more use at least. So we're going to go ahead and start on these. So we're going to plop a chicken in the middle, and I don't know if we can do, I think we're going to have to do these one at a time, but we should be able to just surround this with green dye. And then it should give us our chicken. This might take a little bit of time. We'll go ahead and watch this first one. Almost done. I love this mechanical crafter. It has really cool mechanics. All right, we should be able to take our green chicken now. And now we're going to spend a little bit of time crafting up the rest of these. It's going to take a little bit of time, as you saw. Now that we have all of our chickens crafted that I think we need, I went through them twice. I think we have everyone we need. We're going to go ahead and craft a few of these roosts, breeders, and our chicken catcher. And it looks pretty simple. I believe we have everything we need. We've already got some eggs. We'll go find some chicken feathers here. Let's see here. Do I not have any? I may not have any, which is strange. There we go. I found one. All right, we're going to take that chicken feather. I think we have some sticks already in here. I don't see any. I know we have some outside. We accidentally crafted a whole bunch. Yeah, there we go. All right, and we'll go ahead and craft our chicken catcher, if I can remember how to craft it. I think I have this backwards. There we go. So we have our chicken catcher, which will give us a quest completion, as well as the green chicken. So we'll go ahead and accept those. We got sorting modifier and a chocolate cake. Oh, we'll save both of those. We'll just dump those in here for now. The next thing we need to do is craft our roost and breeder, which is pretty simple. It's wood planks, a seed, and 3 wheat. And the roost is the same thing without the seed. And I just realized we're gonna have to start farming a whole bunch more wheat, because we're gonna need a whole bunch of these roosts. I don't really have a whole lot of wheat, but I'll now that I know that I need it, I'll work on crafting a whole bunch. But for now, we'll craft up 6, just so we can complete the reward, and then I'll work on crafting some more. And 1 needs a seed. And do we have any wood in here? Yes, we do. So there is our breeder, and then there is our roost. So there's 2 more quests completed. Look at there, we already knocked out 4 quests today. And what did we get? We got a chiseled bits bag, a cooking pot, and that looks like it. So we'll just throw this stuff in here for now. And I wonder if we have any roosts. Oh yes, we have 1 roost from a reward. I thought we had gotten one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to our new area and start setting up some additional roosts and start breeding some chickens. Before we head over to our new area and start setting up some of our roosts and breeders, I wanted to highlight that I discovered that you can use one of the botany pots to farm wheat. And we're gonna need a whole bunch of wheat. I started replacing all of our wheat outside in our garden. I'm like, this is gonna take forever because it's 9 wheat per hay bale, and we need 3 hay bales per breeder and per roost. And if we do 1 for every single chicken, it's like 57 just roost, plus the amount you use for breeders. So we're gonna let this run a while we get started. And this should give us a whole bunch of wheat. I did the same thing for the cactus for the green dye. And look, we've already got over a stack of that. So if it's not fast enough, we may switch some of these others out. But we're going to go ahead and get ready to head over to our new area. But before we do that, I'm going to show you how this chicken catcher works, because I forgot to show you guys. You just walk up to a chicken. Right, well, I thought you right-clicked it. Do you hit it? Nope, you definitely don't hit it. Maybe you can't do the vanilla chickens, and now they're mad at me. Let's try one of our other chickens. Let's close that. Grab one of our green chickens. We're gonna place that down and then use our chicken catcher. Okay, yes, it can't be one of the vanilla chickens. So that's good to know. All right, now we're gonna head over and start breeding some of these chickens up. Okay, so I did a bit of that on camera just so you could kind of see what the process is, and I'm slowly going to expand this. After about 10 minutes, we've got an additional 3 chickens and 2 of each of those, and we had enough wheat to craft 2 more breeders. So as you can see, this is going to take forever. We'll go ahead and check on these. And still none. These are taking forever. I checked this one a couple different times just to make sure I had it right. So yes, black chicken and a log chicken makes a string chicken. It's supposed to be a 20% chance. But as you saw, this thing has been running for some time and it's still yet to craft even 1. And over here, we're getting more of these. I think we're down to looking at, I forget which one it is. I think it is the snowball chicken. Yes, log and lapis lazuli. So as soon as we get 2 of those, we'll swap this one to a different one. So basically our process is going to be 3 for breeding the different types of chicken. And eventually I'm going to craft 1 more breeder and we'll have 3 to level them up. So the way we level these up is by sticking 2 of the same type of chicken in there and breeding those together. And the other bottleneck we're going to quickly run into is going to be seeds of all things. So we're going to have to start massively expanding our wheat capabilities, because our little hopper pot thing, although it crafted enough wheat for 2 more breeders, it only had 1 seed in it. So we may have to craft a really large wheat farm and or borrow some seeds from our buddies who may have a ton. I don't usually like to do that, but with seeds, I mean, come on. That's so entry level and so easy to get. It's just a matter of time. And I want to kind of progress through this. So we'll just have to see. We still are not getting those chickens that we need. But we're going to let these continue to breed up. And then I'll bring you back once we make some significant progress. See, this one is now 323. So this might not be as bad as I thought. So we can replace one of the 111s with that one. And then he'll give us an even better one. And eventually my goal is to have a couple of each 10-10-10s, which is the max level. You can have up to 16 in these roosts, but I don't want to fill every single roost up with 16 of each chicken type, because it just creates a massive lag fest. Once we get to that point, I want to be able to say we have at least 2 of every chicken at level 10-10-10, and then we'll decide which ones we actually want to use. We finally got a string chicken, guys. All right, well, we'll double stack these up and check on this one. Oh, we got our first snowball. So this is starting to pick up speed. It's one of those things where it's really slow at the beginning, and the deeper we get into it, the quicker it goes. So I'm going to work on this a while, and then we'll bring you guys back. So this is definitely time consuming, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as I originally thought. Well, that first 10 minutes really scared me, but now that we're starting to get some chickens going, you can see we've increased the amount of chickens we have. And essentially what I'm doing on this left side, I am working on crafting a new chicken by crossbreeding. So you can see we've got 1 nickel and we've got 1 water. So once we have 2 of these, we'll pull all of those out and switch them out. And on these 3 breeders, I'm using these to level them up to 10. And you can see we just had a red one, and up here we just had a log, and then up here we're working on sand. But we actually already have our first 2 level 10s. We have cold chicken and we have orange chicken at level 10. I went ahead and craft 3, and essentially that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to craft 3 of all of them for now, and we can make more if we need them. So eventually we'll get rid of all these level 1s once we have more of these. I did also go ahead and craft a trash can because this is just time consuming. Just to show you kind of the process here, I'll grab some wheat and we'll run over here to our right side, and we're going to figure out which one of these is low. Okay, both of these are really low. I just started doing these. So we're going to give them another seed. And both of these are really low. And this one, it looks like this is the lowest one, and that one's slightly better. All right, and we'll give that a seed. And then these, I don't need them at all. Just chunk them. So that's why we built the trash can. My inventory was getting full of all kinds of different level chickens that don't stack. And over here, we'll just check on these. Oh, see, these are done. So we'll pull all of these out so you can see that process as well. We'll dump these level 1s in here. And we'll take a moment to find another one that we haven't done. Let's see here. What does it take to make gold? Yellow and iron, which we just did, or we're working on now. I don't think we actually have the iron yet. We have 1. We'll go ahead and grab that guy. I'll just have to remember that we have 1. And we were working on gold, so that was iron and yellow. Well, that makes sense. And we have some yellow, so we'll grab 1 of those. And when I load these up the first time, I just stick 10 seeds in there. So I'm trying to maximize our seeds and not overuse them. That one's taking a little bit of time. But we're going to continue working on this and hopefully finish it up soon. You may notice that half of our breeders are empty, and that's because we finally finished breeding 2 minimum of each type of chicken, except prismarine crystal chicken. I just noticed we only have 1 of those, so I will spin those back up because we need 2 in order to start leveling them up. That's funny. But I've been also working on leveling these up, and now that we've done breeding, I'm going to start using all of our breeders for leveling up. And hopefully this won't take too long. If we look over here, you can see we've gotten 10 to level 10, 10, 10. And we have a few more that we're kind of working on here, and just kind of once again to show you my process, I come over here, remove the lowest ranking one, and get 1 seed, because this is all the seeds we have left. We burned through all of the seeds we farmed and borrowed, and I don't know if this is going to be enough. We may have to get some more. I just went and cleaned out my hopper pot again. It's just so many seeds. And then once you're done with this, you don't really need them again. And we got a couple more here. Oh, we're almost done with these, so that's good. Now I'm not doing these in any order. I'm just doing just doing them all. It's really kind of unnecessary. I get it. It's just, I'm a completionist, so I want to be able to say we bred every available chicken and we leveled them all up to level 10. I even created the one that is a smart chicken, so it's just a regular chicken, but it can be used with the roosts as well as the hen houses. So we've got some plans for our chickens once we're done. So I'm going to work on finishing this up, and then we're going to get a nice little room set up. I'm thinking over in that area, but before I get back to breeding chickens, because I need a little bit of a break, I want to take you guys down below our boiler, which this needs some work as well, and we might get to that in this episode. We'll just have to see. But I added this little stressometer, and it shows you how much SU you're using and your total capacity. So you can see we have 8,700 remaining of 14,336. And I did connect these 2 rows of water wheels. So this is just one side. That's not including the doubles in the middle or the other side. So that's only 1/4 of our capacity. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1/4 of our capacity. So we got quite a bit of SU just from water wheels. We will work on connecting all that up and our boiler, just not right now. Let's get back to our chickens. We are almost there. We're putting our last set of chickens in to start leveling them up. So hopefully another 15-20 minutes. This has been quite the ordeal. I know we haven't made as much progress as I wanted to in this episode so far, but man, I almost thought I bit off more than I could chew. But we are almost through the grind. You can see our chest is now empty, and we have at least 3 level 10 all the way on all of these chickens. As you can see, there is a few that's 6, so I did some double work. We would be almost done. Not sure how that happened. That's why I created another chest, so I was pulling them out as we were doing it. But that is going to be all 57 chickens, and I've kind of decided on an area. I am leaning towards putting them over in this section over here, because as we build and bring things over into this area, we're going to build that way towards away from our starter area. And I want the chickens over here in this far corner, and we'll probably have them in their own little chunk over here, so we can kind of cut them on and off, because they are probably one of, if not the biggest lag introducers to the server. So we want them over there out of the way, and where we don't actually have to render them. They'll probably be in their own little room. So we will probably get to that in this episode as well. But let's go ahead and get these chickens finished up. We are finally finished with breeding all of our chickens. Man, this took about twice as long as I thought it would, which is becoming the norm for me in content. But we now have 57 chickens that are fully maxed out level that are going to provide all kinds of resources. And we'll probably set them up a few different ways as we progress through the mod pack and get better tech. But to get started, I think we're going to keep it simple. We're going to put one roost with some type of hopper setup into a sophisticated diamond chest, and that will give us a ton of resources that we can have at our disposal until we get some better storage set up. But let's go ahead and get started on our room. So we got our chicken area done. It is a little bit laggy. I put it in its own chunk, which I can show you real quick. You can see here's the chunk border. And I just noticed that It looks like some of the roosts are outside of the chunk border, but that's okay. We can move that guy down. We have 3 spares because we built 60, so it would line up evenly. And we may add a couple if we need to, and I can kind of show you. We're getting a whole bunch of stuff. Look there. These iron chests are almost all the way full. You may have noticed when we're building this, we used a bunch of regular chests, and my intention was to come back through and upgrade them. But instead of making upgrades, I made 60 iron chests, so we just replaced them. And as we get a bunch of diamonds and gold from these chickens, we'll upgrade these all the way to diamond chests. They will be a little less laggy and obviously not make all the egg noise once the chests are all the way full. They'll quit running. I'm not sure how I feel about the design. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm really struggling with figuring out the rest of this block palette for this build. And let me turn our chunk borders off real quick. We will eventually get there. I am just, like I said, struggling. So I tested a few additional blocks over here, and I really don't like much of this area. I'll probably change it some off camera. We'll just have to see. But I think for today, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Before we wrap today's episode up, I just wanted to take a moment to look at our quest book because we forgot to accept the reward for a completed quest. And we'll go ahead and accept that now for breeding our chickens. And that will wrap up the chicken section of the passive resources. Going into the next episode, we can at least do this one. It's going to be a while before we get into any of industrial foregoing. So that will take a little bit of effort before we get to that point. We also got something done in miscellaneous. Oh, our trash can. We did craft that for all of our spare chickens. And we still have that one exploration. We're going to leave that alone. So we're slowly making our way through the quest book. The further we get into the series, the more I want to knock out. If we do anything this series, it is complete the quest book. That is one of my primary goals, as well as making this build look as cool as possible. And thirdly and lastly, use as much create as possible. I absolutely love that mod. And that reminds me, we have not forgot about our boiler and all of our fun create plans. I just thought we would take a break from all the building and messing around with create we've done to this point and do something new. So this is going to empower us to have tons of resources so we can really start moving things forward. And going into the next episode, I do plan to start streaming again. So we're going to stream at least once a week on Twitch. So definitely go check me out on Twitch. You can find a link for that in the description as well as on the about page of my YouTube. And then I know for a fact on the next stream, we're going to work on the interior here, changing up some blocks, as well as moving our boiler around. We're going to actually move this and redesign it a little bit and probably drop it one block. You know what? That's enough teasers for now. Let's go ahead and wrap things up here. As always, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any suggestions or feedback, please leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe. This is Agro Ninja, and that's a wrap.